Oh, let's turn this around.
Are we live? We're live, people. Coming to you live from Silva's, the Church of the Pina Colada. Oh my goodness. You guys make my heart sing. Thank you for being here today. So my name's Claire Scheck-Snyder, and I'm Carl and Veronica's oldest child. My sister Haley is here from Seattle. Brother Charlie. I don't know. Oh, there's my. I should put my glasses on. And my brother Charlie.
He's the one with no hair.
And he came all the way from Africa. Yeah, and he looks just like Dad. We'd all like to thank each and every one of you for being here today. We have friends and family who've come all the way from Kenya, London, Alaska, Boston, New York, Dallas, Atlanta, Arkansas, Virginia, Vermont, and Washington State. It means so much to my family. Your presence, support, love, and kindness throughout this last year and a half has been incredible, thoughtful, and oh so appreciated. I want to welcome you all to this Guinness Book of World Records event, the biggest Church of Pina Colada ever. You are part of it, yes. It's all in honor of Veronica Nicholas, the woman who loved to party more than anything else. A little history about the Church of the Pina Colada. Mom and Dad have been hosting friends and family at their home on most every Sunday for the past 30 years. Dad is the Pope of the Church of the Pina Colada, and he makes omelets and biscuits, and folks brings grits and sausage and other yummies, and there's never a sermon, but there's always community, good food, and sacramental beverage, the Pina Colada. And I hope you all have had a little Pina Colada action. We realized when this party was going to be on a Sunday that it was clear that this needed to be a Church of the Pina Colada, and that there would be lots of Pina Coladas. I know Mom approves of this because she helped me secure a frozen drink machine. I totally thought, you know, hey, we'll have this party, it'll be really easy to get, I'll supply the Pina Coladas, it'll be easy to get a frozen drink machine. Not. I called all over Atlanta and Asheville. I know, and we tried, and we could not find one. Usually they come with an operator, and they get delivered, and nobody wanted to do it. So I called the Margarita Mama in Atlanta, and she said, I can't help you, but let me see if I can get together with my friends in North Carolina. There was the Margarita Man in North Carolina who we got in touch with, and he's in Raleigh, and he said it would be 5 hours to drive here, but he would do it. And I was like, well, let me see what I can do. A couple hours later, I get a phone call from Holly, the popcorn lady. And I'm like, okay, how did I get into popcorn? And she said, I hear that there is a memorial celebration for your mom, and it's the Church of the Pina Colada, and I never let my machine out of my sight or out of town, but I want you to have it so that you could celebrate your mom. And I was like, oh my God, Mom, pulling the strings. So what an extraordinary woman we celebrate today. Mother to many, human and furry, full of unconditional love, a tireless advocate for those in need, a great writer, communicator, and connector. She had an incredible capacity to love. We all experienced Mom's megawatt love equally. It didn't matter if you were a blood relative. She listened, hugged, and cared for so many people and animals. It's surreal to me that she's gone. Just over a year ago, she played a vital role in my own breast cancer diagnosis and treatment. She spent hours listening to me on the phone, going to doctor's appointments, and then she, Dad, and Haley came to live with us to help me through my recovery. And then exactly a year ago, you guys, just a year ago, Mom had her own episode that resulted in a brain cancer diagnosis. Mom and Dad wound up moving back to Atlanta to live with us for several months while Mom underwent treatment. I'm so thankful for that time together. Our home is full of memories that I wouldn't have had otherwise. I can feel her spirit in my home. I don't have to come to Silva to feel her. And when I sit at my breakfast table and look at the flowers blooming in the window that she bought and cared for, I can just feel her and her time with us. This whole experience has been profound. Mom truly taught us how to live and how to die. She was unique because she was surrounded by love and zero animosity. It was heartbreaking but beautiful to witness the constant stream of friends and family who came to visit her. People have thanked me and my family for being so open about Mom's journey. They feel it was instructive and helpful for us to share and let everyone be a part of her story. I just want to say we were able to share because of Mom and who she was. It was her gift to us. To ensure we were all surrounded by love and support, she taught us through her own actions how to care for others. So it seemed natural to share our experience with others. And you know what? It was helpful to each one of us to be open and receiving of the love that this community had to give. It helps us to move through the sadness together as a community. Mom was really good at organizing people to do good. If she was unhappy with something that was happening, she'd find people to work with her to change it. She never gave up, and she was often successful. If there's one thing I know she'd want us to do in her name, especially in this time of life, is for all of us to be active and organized agents of change, caring for others, making a difference. She showed us the way to do that. Oh, my last page, you guys. Oh. I'm almost done. Mom loved every person who is here today, and you loved her. That's why you're here. She made you smile, and she made you feel special and loved. Let's celebrate her today with toasts, stories, limericks, and laughs. To Veronica. And I don't have a drink. To Veronica, to Mom. There's alcohol in that. I'm sure I'll be fine. That wasn't my drink. Now, bringing up Carl. We're gonna do family members first, and then we'll open the floor to others. Daddy, you want to come up here by me, and I can hold the microphone for you, or you can hold it. You're attached to me.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, I see.
Okay,
Really? Literally.
Hold it close.
It's not going to be a limerick, folks. It's going to be the last 3 lines of a sonnet written by E.E. Cummings, the guy that didn't understand capital letters. I encountered the poem the first time when I was teaching freshman English at Norfolk State in 1968, and it's never left me. It said to me, if you ever live long enough to find yourself in a situation where you have to do a funeral toast for Veronica, this is it. So, to Veronica, through whose profound and fragile lips the sweet, small, clumsy feet of April came into the ragged meadow of my soul.
Here, here.
Here, here. Here, here. Cheers. Mahalia, you're up.
I gotta follow that.
Here, You can hold it.
Okay.
I'll sit.
You want me to put your papers away?
Yeah, I'll put it
take
down
them
here.
with me.
I'm like shaking here.
First of all, I want to thank everybody who was such a help over this past year and came to the house, brought flowers, brought soup, brought beer, visited, called, sent cards. You've been awesome. It's a wonderful community that we all live in and create together. And, you know, when Mom passed, I was thinking about it. I'm a unrepentant heathen and a deacon of the Church of the Pina Colada. I was really, really worried about people saying, well, your mom's in a better place. And, because screw that. She's in the best place ever. She is her love, her light, her laughter. They're all right here in our hearts. And they always will be.
Yes. And last but not least, Charlie Nicholas.
Oh,
Who's that?
yes, I thought you were looking at me.
I am all looking and all knowing.
Hi.
Hi, you want to hold this?
I gotta hold that.
You can if you want to. Okay. Okay, I'll hold that.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's
here,
right.
stand over there.
Hi. Most of you, I think, know my mom as the amazing volunteer and humanitarian that she is. And what I think is really fun for me is that my greatest memories from the past 20 years will be of the bumblefucks. And excuse me for saying that out loud in polite company.
I said screw it.
Okay. But I won't say it again, but that term defines the travelers and the journey that my parents instilled, I think, in all of us, is this wonderful wanderlust for the world. And they traveled all the time. They had their community here that they were very loyal to and loved. And I know they loved every single one of you. But that wanderlust that I got to experience so much with them was so much fun. And so important just to my little family, and I think to the extended family, all the funny stories we were just talking about with everyone who has traveled with them. And this story is funny because it comes secondhand from one of my best friends, Ben, when I was talking to him on the phone when Mom had just passed. And Dad was telling the story to Ben about, it was that night, and he was holding Mom's hand and reading to her, and I think he was kind of regretting the fact that he had stepped away for a bit and she passed. And but then he related the story to Ben, how that was kind of apropos, because if you've ever traveled with Mom and the bumblefucks, I'm sorry I said it again, is that you would be having a wonderful time walking down the streets of Paris or on a canal boat in Rome, and you'd be wandering around seeing the sights, and you turn around and she'd be gone. And before the day of the cell phones, I was just talking to the Sossamans about how wonderful it was that they hooked her up with an international cell phone. But before the days of the cell phones, we would spend hours. There she was, gone. And I think that it was appropriate in some ways that she did that again to Dad for the last time of saying, I'm gone. And I think that it's a wonderful way just to think about the journey of life, and here we are. And I look forward to moving on with my family and all our families and seeing all of you here. And I think also, please just carry on, like Claire said, her good work. And yeah, come see me in Africa. Please.
Good. You want me to hold it for you? Okay. So it's my turn now. Yes. This is Aunt Christina, Mom's sister. She's here from Vermont.
Right.
You get a big introduction.
So, I'm the baby in the family, ha ha ha. And I was known as Little Spy Espionage for quite a long time because I was a giant pain in the neck to Veronica when she started dating. And that was where that came from. But at any rate, it's amazing to be here with my family. I have my husband and 2 daughters and all of my nieces, nephew, etc., etc. It's quite amazing. So and seeing all of you here is knowing what I knew about my sister, but it's such a huge, wonderful group of people. I haven't gotten a chance to talk with all of you, but it's really an honor and gives me an insight to her again, which is so deeply appreciated. So thank you so much for coming. I did want to read a story to you. In the spring of 2015, Carl and Veronica and Judy and Gordon came to visit Norman, my husband, and I for a celebratory occasion. And she had the chance to meet a favorite author of hers, Julia Alvarez, who was a fellow spirit activist, kind and generous and beautiful woman. And it was just a lovely thing that she was able to meet her. And so it turned out that just before Veronica died, Julia published a book about Where Do They Go? And I wanted to read it to you. So, Where Do They Go?
Christina is a principal as well, so this is in her wheelhouse.
Okay. This is in my wheelhouse. Although reading when I'm crying is not always in my wheelhouse. When somebody dies, where do they go? The pictures are also by a Vermont artist, Sabra Field. Who can I ask? Does anyone know? Do they go with it when I cry? Do they turn into clouds and change every hour? A flamingo, a cat, a dancer, a flower. Oops, I gotta get those out soon. I'm gonna take the cover off.
Yeah, take the cover out. There you go.
Thank you so much. Do they dive into rivers and dissolve in the sea? Do they tickle my feet when waves wash over me? Do they drift with the snow? Are they sad? Are they cold? Oops, I changed. Ooh, that's... Can I catch them as snowflakes on the tip of my tongue? Are they that quiet feeling at the end of a song? Do they wink back at me when I wish on a star? Do they whisper, "You're perfect just as you are"? Do they listen to secrets? Do they nod when I ask for help with a specially difficult task? Do they grow wings when they die and fly far away, or hover above me when I need them to stay? Will they answer my questions? Will they still hold my hand? Will they say not to worry if I don't understand? Is it them that I feel alive in my heart? Is it there that I go when I'm sad we're apart? Are they hiding on rooftops at the foot of the stairs, so I'll stop and look closely to search for them there? I find them each day in surprising new places, in the soft falling rain and the smile on faces, in the sun as it sets when the long day is done, in the waves as they roll on the sea and the sun. Sometimes, very briefly, I catch just a glance, in the hills' quiet stillness, in a storm's dark advance. Just a glimpse, just a peek, a small puzzle I solve. When I'm loving the world, they left me to love. Thanks for giving me a chance to read that.
Thank you.
What Christina neglected to tell you when the occasion of our visit was Christina and Julia Alvarez receive honorary doctorates from Middlebury College.
I can actually. Yeah, you might need that. Here, we could stop right here.
All right.
I'm mobile. I just realized.
You are mobile. So my name's Maggie Keeler, and I am Judy and Veronica's middle sister's daughter. Aunt Veronica has always been a very special person to me in my life, and I have to say that I am in awe of my cousins and the love and compassion and care that they've shown their parents this year. And they have honored their mother so much in what they've done for both her and for Uncle Carl this year. And I think we can all learn so much from that. But when I think of my Aunt Veronica, I just think of the light that she was and is in this world, and the twinkle in her eye, and the light in her spirit that she has and shared with us all. And I am reminded of a poem from Edna St. Vincent Millay that says, "My candle doth burn at both ends, it will not last the night. But ah, my foes, and oh, my friends, it doth give a lovely light." And she was not here with us nearly long enough, but her light was so bright and magnificent, and it will always shine on us. And I just love you all and loved her so much.
We love you too.
We love you, Dang.
Thank you. And I'm getting the Kleenex. You can hold this.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Ruhama. I'm Christina's daughter, so another niece of Veronica's.
All the way from London.
From London. I'm very jet lagged, so hopefully I managed to make a bit of sense. At some point over this past year, I asked my mother why Veronica was named Veronica, because I had no idea if it was a family name, sort of what the history was. And my mother said she thought she was just named after the actress Veronica Lake. So not, a deep, sort of meaningful thing. Do you have a different story, Judy? So we can hear the real story. She's named after Veronica, or was named Veronica. But I was thinking about it, and even, I don't know why she was named Veronica, but regardless of that, I was thinking about the name and sort of, looked it up and sort of learned the story of Saint Veronica, who is, in the Catholic tradition, a saint known for sort of seeing Jesus on the way to Calvary and sort of having compassion for him and sort of wiping his face with a cloth, essentially. A beautiful story about having compassion on someone in suffering. And then the name means she who brings victory. There's a sort of false etymology that it means true icon, but it doesn't. Apparently means she who brings victory. And I just think that's sort of perfect for Aunt Veronica, that victory is about having compassion on people and caring for people. And I think sort of the perfect name and really embodies who she was. So just wanted to share that.
Religious studies major. Scholar. Wow. Beautiful. Okay. Is that everybody? Liza?
I don't know how I follow that.
You can absolutely follow. Here.
I don't know if I can do this without crying.
Well, we all did it without
We're all
crying.
crying.
Well, come on.
Doesn't stop anybody.
She says, leaky, my eyes are leaking.
I am not going to be nearly as eloquent as those two. When I think of my Aunt Veronica, I think of laughter. I think of her wonderful giggle that you could hear wherever you were in her house. I think of waking up the day after Christmas and making donuts with Aunt Veronica because she made the best donuts in the world. And I just think of the light. There were always people in her home. She was the home. She was a mother to people. She was a friend to people who needed a friend. She was loving to everyone and just brought such light wherever she was. And I treasure the memories of my childhood and the time we spent with them on the holidays. And I'm sad that my family, we live in Texas, and my little ones never got to know Veronica the way I did, and I'm sad for that. But I know that she's everywhere, and I love the story that Aunt Christina just read. So, thank you.
Thanks, Liza. Uncle Gordon.
I have two particularly happy remembrances of Veronica. In 1965 at Colleon Officers Club in the hills above Subic Bay Naval Base, I met Veronica the first time. And I remember that. But I also met Judy, my wife, for the first time that same day. So there's a connection there. The other thing I remember now happily was that Veronica was a world-class backseat driver. I tried to drive a van in Wales with them, and Veronica was keeping me on my toes, believe it. Here.
Wonderful. All right, so I think that we are ready to open the floor up to other friends and family. Anybody who wants to say a toast? Okay, I will come to you. Watch me, Jean. I'm walking. Yeah, and then the professional cameraman follows. Isn't that amazing?
Okay,
Okay, this is good. Everybody can go.
I knew Veronica when I moved to Cullowhee from Miami, and I couldn't quite get over the fact that nobody here locked their doors. And Carl and Veronica's door was always open on Sunday mornings, as I was a congregant of the Church of the Pina Colada. I remember two specific things that I wanted you to know about Veronica that relate to me specifically. Most of you probably will relate to the first one, because whenever you called the house and Veronica wasn't home, Carl would say she's out saving the world, which she was. But personally, my husband died of the same kind of brain tumor, and 5 months later my house burned, and Veronica and Carl took me in.
Okay, so who's got a lighthearted toast? No, I'm kidding.
I just want to say to everybody, please lock their doors now that Jean has told everybody live on Facebook. For God's sakes, go get a key.
Okay, come towards me, or I'll come toward you. Raise the walking podium. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna put my glasses on now. I can see.
I think it's only apropos that we do something lighthearted for Veronica, a Christmas story. And Veronica, this is for you. This is the story of how the angel got on top of the Christmas tree. Santa was having a horrible evening. He found out Mrs. Claus was having an affair. Toy production way behind. The elves were laying out drunk. Bad weather moving in. There was a knock on the door, and a very frustrated Santa slammed the door open, and there was a little angel standing there with the Christmas tree, and he said, "What do you want?" And she said, "Hi, Santa, just want to know where you want me to put the Christmas tree." So, Veronica, this one's for you.
is awesome. And, okay, I'm putting my glasses on. Surveying the room. Up, Sandy Black. Coming your way.
Okay, we're gonna try this. One of my favorite singers has a song that says, "You can do this hard thing." And a few years back, I was having an issue with someone that worked for me, not with work, but with her life. And if any of you know me, you know that I am very much a non-confrontational person. And I'm also of the thought that people make their own decisions and go that route, and I'm not to interfere. But in this particular case, I felt that I really felt like I needed to say something, but I didn't have that strength. And Veronica shared my fears with me and said, I will help you do this. And she sat with me and this person, and we talked to her. It did not go particularly well, at least immediately. I think ultimately our advice was appreciated, but I thank Veronica for helping me do that hard thing and for teaching me that I can do those hard things in the future.
Beautiful.
Anyone?
I'll say something.
There we go.
Hey, my name's Lenore, and this is a fast story. Oh. Don't make me look too fat. Okay. All right. Veronica always answered my phone call when I called her, and one of the times I called, I said, "Where are you?" And she said, "Belize."
Oh my goodness! I love it. Totally true.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, Kayla. Okay, come on, Jay.
Good job, I follow my producer.
Hi. Okay. You need me to hold it while you read, or you got it? I got it. Okay.
What can I say about Veronica that hasn't already been said? She was great, she had great taste in wine and people and loved animals, had a great family, blah, blah, blah. I'm not here to echo 1,000 sentiments about this woman. I'm here to try to pay a debt to her, one that I will never be able to fully repay and one that she would never dream of asking me to repay. We all know that Veronica rescued animals, that's where our tale starts, but she also rescued people. I didn't call her Mama V for nothing. No, I am indeed one of her many rescues, one of her many adopted children, and it feels really good to say that. And one of the best parts of being rescued by Mama V was that by default, you got an awesome man like Carl in your life. And awesome sisters. And a brother that I've never met, sorry. It's a whole African thing. Sorry.
That's so southern.
When things were tough for me and my own parents, especially after my dad died, Veronica listened. She called me over for a pina colada and a plate of whatever delicious non-microwavable dish that Carl had magically whipped up, and just let me feel safe and valued and like I belonged. And when I had to break the news that I hated coconut, a strong strawberry daiquiri magically appeared in front of me. It didn't matter who I was on the outside or the inside, I seemed to fit right in at the Nicholas house, and I am forever grateful for that and the many wonderful people she's introduced me to, many of whom are some of my very best friends today. I could tell 100 stories about her, but I won't. The reason I'm standing here today is to talk to all the people who knew and loved Veronica as I did and do. What are we supposed to do now? Losing such a force for good is never easy. You are never fully prepared, and the sadness never really goes away. We all have a big steaming bowl of sadness when someone we love moves on to wherever they go. a better place, quote, or the best place, like Haley said. Some of us choose to gobble it up right away. Some of us choose to take a bite every once in a while. But one thing is for sure, we all will eventually have to eat it. And I'd like to make some suggestions of ways we could all make this meal a little bit more appetizing. Add some Veronica to it. Travel to a place you've never been before. It doesn't have to be far away, just enjoy yourself. Have a glass of wine. Compliment someone. Tell a stranger you like their hair. Tell your coworker that you've noticed how hard they've been working and you appreciate them. Take the time to be nice just because. Have a glass of wine. Volunteer for a cause you feel strongly about. Maybe walk some dogs or play with cats at an animal shelter. Help serve meals here at the community table. Collect donations for neighbors in need. There are so many deserving organizations to give the gift of your time. Have a glass of wine. Thank someone. Thank your veterinarian and staff. Thank your doctor and staff. Thank your local community organizer. Thank your loved ones. Just be thankful. Never ever miss out on an opportunity to make a change for the better. Have a glass of wine. Cherish your friendships and relationships and never miss an opportunity to tell someone that you love them. Have a glass of wine. Channel Veronica's tireless energy into everything you do. And you know what? Have another glass of wine because life is too damn short and you deserve it.
Caleb, that was beautiful.
That was great.
Anyone? Okay. I'll close it off. I will. Zach. Oh. Teresa. Where you guys at? Because we can just drink more after this.
Absolutely.
You know?
I just want to say that I'm sad that my mother couldn't be here and my father, because Veronica and Carl were wonderful friends to them, especially when they first moved here, and they became my godparents and my brother and my sister's godparents, and so a lot of wonderful years of my childhood are surrounded by them. And as an adult later, we had sort of drifted apart a bit, I think, and I called Veronica one day because I had an issue with a tiny little kitten that I had found, and she helped me to make sure that kitten was healthy, and I still have her. She's 12 years old now, Rena. But I just wanted to speak for my mother and say that I'm sad that she couldn't be here, and I know she would have a lot of wonderful stories to share, but Veronica was just such a wonderful light in all of our lives. Really, thanks, Teresa.
Beautiful. Guys, thank you so much for everybody coming. Oh, we got Tori. Uh-oh, and behind me. Oh, so I'm going this way.
Get this on the big screen. This is a picture of your dad's birthday party at the tea house just like 2 months ago. Bobby and Charlie are in town. Max is telling some catty little jokes. It was precious. He learned from his grandfather.
Is that a bra?
Veronica had a couple of glasses of wine and decided that she needed to come out of her brassiere. There was nobody left at the tea house but, the 5 or 6 of us in the staff. Carl generously abided, reached underneath her sweater and would just flip, flip. And her brassiere ended up on his head. Underneath his baseball cap, and I got a picture of it. It's pretty sweet. And Veronica's just looking at me, and she is just giggling like that. It was absolutely precious. I had the greatest opportunity to buy the tea house from Karen and Jason Kimmenker 6 years ago, just recently. And took me a little while to learn all of the senior citizens' names and all of their family, but they have become mine. Veronica was like a mother to me, and she did raise the bar in my life as I had challenges with people in the community, as we all do. But she always expressed that I love them first and forgive them second and be a better person because of it. And I always appreciated that. And then we'd have a glass of wine. So thanks everybody for coming out and sharing the love, because we love each and every one of you, as she did. Thank you. If you want to see the picture, I have it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I always regret that never got to take a long trip with Carl and Veronica, but we were in Peru just a few months ago, and there's a mountain there called Mount Veronica, and it is the gateway where the Urubamba goes down through the high Andes down to Machu Picchu, and Mount Veronica is sort of the guardian mountain above that entrance to that canyon. And I thought that was very fitting. It's very hard to see because it's so high and you're so low that you can see it from the high plains. And it's very fleeting in the clouds. But I was thinking that you know, we're all attached to Veronica in a very special way, and her passing is not really sad because we keep that feeling with us and that knowledge of her and what she meant to us. But it's very tragic to lose somebody and lose someone of that strength and that much power and that much connection in our lives. So my simple toast is Viva Veronica!
Christina? Just give you the power. Okay.
Veronica was an amazing role model to me when I first moved to this community back in 2003. And professionally and personally, she was the kindest, most generous woman, the most patient woman, and she taught me how to be a better woman. And I'll always be grateful for that.
Oh, okay, we're going back that way, Jay. Jay's getting his Fitbit movement around here today. Here we go.
Okay, I wasn't going to say anything, but I'm looking at all the pictures and all the travel pictures on the screen. Reminded me of a picture that was Facebooked, and it was Veronica and Carl and Newton June, and I don't know who else, on a river cruise. And they were at a curved window on the boat, waving. And at the time, it struck me, they looked so happy. And I think now that Veronica wasn't waving goodbye, she was waving us all into her heart, and she into ours. And there'll never be a goodbye.
Beautiful.
This is so awkward. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, I think that we could just all drink a whole lot now.
Have a glass of wine.
Have a glass of wine. Yes, raise a cheer. Love you all. Thank you so very much for coming. It's beautiful, beautiful day. I want to be here right now. This is great. Sorry.
Sure. I have this intolerance for very high pitched voices. Sorry.
Oh.
Those were wonderful tributes, actually, weren't they? They were wonderful tributes.
Yes, you and Don. Oh, that's right. Yeah, he walked in when I was walking out.
Haven't done anything about it.
Do a little bit, showing the run, and then sign off.
Do you? That's awesome.
I was not here in the least.
That's great. Would be.